In a sterile boardroom 30 floors above the neon-lit skyline of Shanghai, Luo Chen bled from the mouth. His white shirt was stained crimson, a slow trickle from the corner of his lips. Around him, a dozen executives sat frozen, their eyes darting between him and the stack of documents on the table: confidential audit reports, insider emails, offshore accounts. $2.4 billion in embezzled funds. "I warned you," Luo Chen said hoarsely, forcing a twisted smile. "I gave you the data. The evidence. All of it." The man at the head of the table didn't flinch. Su Ming, CEO of Tianhua Capital, adjusted his gold cufflinks, then stood, towering over Luo Chen like a well-fed wolf. "You were brilliant," Su Ming said calmly, "but naive." A flick of his fingers. Two security guards stepped forward. Luo Chen staggered to his feet, coughing hard, his body convulsing. "You drugged my tea." "Don't take it personally," Su Ming said. "We'll spin this as a suicide." Genius analyst couldn't handle market pressure. Poetic, no? The others nodded silently, their eyes already on their phones, deleting messages, wiping contacts. Luo Chen laughed. A dry, broken sound. "I knew this would happen," he whispered. And he had. From penny stocks to property crashes, Luo Chen had predicted it all. A genius financial analyst born too poor, too early, and too unlucky. He'd spent a decade feeding the rich their next gold mine only to die in the dirt like a dog. The embezzlement report had been his last play. He thought justice would save him. How stupid. As his vision faded, Luo Chen didn't feel regret. Only rage. "If I could do it all over again, I'd make you crawl." The room dimmed. His knees buckled. Then, a voice echoed inside his mind. Cold. Mechanical. Final. System initialization, rebirth protocol activated. Scanning user memories. Confirmed. Loading timeline, 10 years prior. Welcome, Luo Chen. A blinding flash consumed his mind. And everything went dark. BZZZT. The cheap phone buzzed violently on the bedside table. Luo Chen shot upright, gasping like a drowning man breaking the surface. Sweat dripped down his face, and his chest heaved. Where am I? The pungent smell of instant noodles, unwashed clothes, and damp mildew filled the cramped room. His eyes darted around peeling wallpaper, flickering ceiling light, and a dusty desk stacked with crumpled resumes. It was 2013. 10 years ago. A cracked mirror on the wall reflected a thinner, younger version of himself, dark circles under sharp eyes, messy hair, and the same old second-hand clothes. Luo Chen's heart pounded. I came back. His phone vibrated again. You have 3 overdue loans. Please repay 6,542 yen to avoid legal consequences. Your bank balance is 8 yen and 91 sen. So it wasn't a dream. He stumbled to the desk, pulled open the drawer, and there it was, the finance internship rejection letter from Haoyang Securities, dated March 2013. This was the week his life started spiraling: rejection, eviction, debt collectors. And the year Bitcoin was $120. Luo Chen's eyes sharpened. This time, I'm the one holding the knife. Then it happened. A glowing, blue screen materialized before him, floating in midair. Billionaire system binding complete. Welcome, host, Luo Chen. System mode, sign-in investment reward system. Scan complete. Financial aptitude, SSS tier. Future knowledge, confirmed. Host qualifies for advanced reward flow. Daily sign-in available. Would you like to sign in? Luo Chen didn't hesitate. Sign in. Sign in successful. Party popper you have received. Small Blue Diamond 10% equity stake, Blue Chat Incorporated, seed stage. Brain skill, forecasting instinct LV.1, grants a natural intuition of market movement. Moneybag cash reward, 100,000 yen deposited to hidden offshore account. Luo Chen's breath hitched. Blue Chat? That was the tiny startup that became the global messaging monopoly, bought out by Juanet for $400 billion in 2021. He almost laughed. In my last life, I couldn't even afford a phone plan. Now I own 10% of the next Tencent. He stood up, eyes burning with focus. Dat? I'll erase it tonight. Starvation? I'll be feasting tomorrow. This time, I don't need luck. I am the market. Just then, bang. 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 The metal door rattled. Luo Chen. Pay your rent or I'm selling your kidneys, you deadbeat. Luo Chen opened the door calmly and stared down the greasy landlord and two thuggish collectors. Relax, he said coolly. I'm expecting a transfer. They laughed in his face. Luo Chen's phone dinged. You have received 100,000 yen. He turned the screen toward them. Actually, I just bought this building. The thugs stood frozen. Why you bought the building? The landlord stammered. Luo Chen held up a signed digital contract on his phone. Property transfer, Unit 14, Dongyuan Road. New owner, Luo Chen. He smirked. Not just the building. The land beneath your feet, too. The debt collectors took a step back. The greasy landlord nearly choked. You were crying about 600 yen rent yesterday. Yesterday, Luo Chen said, buttoning his wrinkled collar, I was broke. He turned his back on them and shut the door with a cold snap. Inside the room, Luo Chen sat down, eyes glowing with calculation. I need to test the system. 1 win could be luck. 2. I make it law. The system chimed again. Milestone triggered, first property acquisition. Party popper reward, market research radar, basic tier. Magnifying glass tilted left effect, reveals local startups with high hidden value. A glowing map appeared in his vision. Dots flickered across Shanghai. Most were gray. A few blinked yellow. But one. Blue dot, high potential detected. Startup, DeepSight AI Labs. Sector, artificial intelligence, computer vision. Founders, 2, underfunded. Status, desperate for seed investment. Projected valuation, 280 billion yen. Luo Chen's heart skipped a beat. I remember this company. They built the surveillance algorithms used nationwide. The founder sold the code for scraps after being rejected by every VC. He grabbed his jacket and bolted. 1 hour later, a dusty co-working space, Pudong District. Inside, 2 young men argued heatedly. Laptops, ramen bowls, and unpaid bills littered the table. I'm telling you, one said, if we don't get 100,000 yen soon, we're done. Suddenly, knock knock. Luo Chen entered like a CEO. Are you the founders of DeepSight AI? He asked. The two looked at him in disbelief. Who wants to know? Luo Chen walked up and dropped a file on the table. A full analysis of their tech, their potential, their patents. You're building the future. You just don't know it yet. The taller founder frowned. And you are? Luo Chen extended his hand. Luo Chen. Independent investor. He smiled like a tiger. I'm offering 150,000 yen for 20% equity. Today. No questions. No negotiations. The room went dead silent. We don't even have a working prototype. You don't need one, Luo Chen replied, because I've already seen the next 10 years. Sign-in triggered, high-risk early investment. Party popper reward, skill, visionary instinct LV.1. Lightbulb provides passive insight during negotiations and market forecasting. Wrapped gift bonus reward, 500,000 yen seed capital unlocked. Brain system note, high-risk moves unlock exponential returns. The stunned founders slowly nodded. Deal. Luo Chen signed the papers, walked out, and looked up at the Shanghai skyline. 2 sign-ins. 2 future unicorns. They laughed when I begged for an internship. Let's see if they laugh when I buy their board seats. The next morning, Shanghai's skyline glittered under a pale sun, but inside Luo Chen's rental room, the real fireworks were about to start. He sipped cheap instant coffee, soon to be replaced with Cuban cigars and imported whiskey, and opened the market radar. His eyes locked onto a flickering yellow blip. Stock, Huarun Biotech, ticker, HRBT. Current price, 3 yen and 12 sen. Market sentiment, bearish. Analyst consensus, doomed. Projected turnaround catalyst, FDA approval, 5 days. Projected price spike, 3 yen and 12 sen 80 yen, short-term high. Luo Chen leaned forward. Huarun Biotech, that's right. They had a last-minute clinical trial approval. But no one believed it because the CEO got arrested the week before. In his past life, this stock was buried in red news until it exploded 25x overnight, turning one Reddit rumor into a global media frenzy. But by the time the public knew, the real money had already exited. This time, Luo Chen would be the storm. System prompt, sign-in available, high volatility investment. Direct hit condition, all-in investment. Firecracker risk tier, S. Money bag reward multiplier unlocked, x3 payout if investment exceeds 300% ROI. Luo Chen's eyes gleamed. Let's play. He transferred 500,000 yen, his entire unlocked seed fund, into HRBT stock at opening bell. The market laughed. Finance forums mocked the dumb kid buying biotech garbage. Analysts posted memes about falling knives. But Luo Chen sat calmly. Let them laugh. They'll cry next. 3 days later, breaking news. Loudspeaker, Huarun Biotech announces surprise FDA approval for revolutionary cancer treatment. Chart increasing, stock skyrockets, plus 680% in 48 hours. The entire finance world went insane. Pundits scrambled to justify the miracle. Hedge funds tried to jump in, only to find the price already far out of reach. But Luo Chen? He exited at 79 yen and 50 sen, just before the first dip. Moneybag profit, 12.5 million yen. Party popper, sign-in reward, capital expansion module unlocked. Bar chart: you can now invest in international markets and access leveraged trading tools. Brain skill upgrade, forecasting instinct LV.2, detects short-term volatility within 24 hours. He stared at his account. 8 digits stared back. Not just numbers. Power. He stood up, exhaled slowly, and smiled. I made my first million in 72 hours. In my last life, I worked 30 years and died with nothing. Now I'm just getting warmed up. Meanwhile, in a sleek office downtown, a familiar figure stared at the market report. Su Ming, CEO of Tianhua Capital, narrowed his eyes. Who made 12 million yen off Huarun Biotech, he muttered. His assistant gulped. Some freelancer. Untraceable account. Name's Luo Chen. Su Ming dropped his pen. That name again? The rusty elevator groaned as it reached the 5th floor of Dongyuan Pawn and Finance, a shady loan company run by bottom feeders who preyed on the desperate. Luo Chen stepped out in a tailored black suit, Rolex gleaming on his wrist, his steps echoing with quiet authority. A far cry from the debt-ridden loser they used to bully. Behind the scratched glass window sat Brother Chang, the neighborhood's infamous enforcer. Gold chain, leather jacket, cigarette dangling from his lip. When he saw Luo Chen, he squinted. Then laughed. Well, well. The rat returns. You finally bring my 6,000 yuan? Luo Chen walked up to the desk, cool as ice. I came to buy something. Buy what? Your dignity back? No, Luo Chen said, leaning forward. Your company. Brother Chang froze. What did you say? I want Dongyuan Pawn and Finance. Debt ledgers, operating license, property titles. Everything. Luo Chen pulled out a folder. Inside, a purchase agreement stamped with the red seal of a local business bureau and wired transfer slips totaling 6.5 million yen. Brother Chang's smirk cracked. You think this is funny? Trying to act rich? Ask your boss, Luo Chen interrupted. Right on cue, a trembling middle-aged man rushed out from the back office. Manager Lu, the real owner, pale and sweating. Mr. Luo. I was just about to call you. Everything's ready, just waiting on your signature. He handed over the keys. From now on, you're the legal owner of Donyuan Finance. Brother Chang's cigarette dropped from his mouth. Luo Chen smiled faintly. You remember threatening to break my legs over 6,000 yuan? Brother Chang stammered, that was just business. Relax. I'm not here to break yours, Luo Chen said. I'm promoting you. Brother Chang blinked. To branch cleaner. You'll be sweeping floors and scrubbing toilets until I decide you're worth firing. The office went silent. Behind Luo Chen, several well-dressed assistants began reorganizing furniture and putting up a new plaque. Donyuan Venture Capital, a Luo Group subsidiary. Sign-in triggered, first revenge completed. Party Popper reward, skill, psychological suppression LV.1. Brain your presence intimidates enemies and lowers their negotiation resistance. Briefcase bonus unlock, real estate investment module activated. House you may now purchase, upgrade, and flip properties using system support. Luo Chen turned and walked away, his voice echoing behind him. Next time someone begs for a loan, tell them to fill out a business pitch instead. Brother Chang collapsed into the nearest chair, face pale as ash. Meanwhile, news of Donyuan's sudden acquisition sent ripples through the local finance scene. In a private lounge uptown, a suited man clenched his teeth, reading the headline. Mysterious young tycoon acquires notorious loan syndicate, flips it into VC fund overnight. Su Ming stared at Luo Chen's name again. He's still alive. The year was 2013. Bitcoin was a punchline in the financial world. Worth barely $120 per coin, mocked by every major analyst, and banned by half of Asia's banks. But Luo Chen? He knew better. He wasn't looking at what Bitcoin was, he was staring at what it would become. Inside a sleek new office in central Shanghai, Luo Chen sat at his newly acquired desk in Donyuan Venture Capital. He scrolled through early BTC trading data while sipping premium oolong. MTGOX's collapse will spook the market next year. Then the China ban will drop prices. But by 2021, Bitcoin hits 400,000 yen per coin, minimum. He opened the system dashboard. Market opportunity detected, Bitcoin, early bull run imminent. Chart increasing current price, 850 yen per coin. Fire projected price by year-end, 6,000 yen per coin. Locked investment cap, unlimited, high-risk tier. Sign-in option, crypto visionary investment, do you wish to proceed? Luo Chen smirked. Go big. He slammed 5 million yen into multiple crypto wallets, diversified across Bitcoin, Litecoin, and early Ethereum, pre-launch tokens. Then he waited. 5 days later, a coffee shop near Fudan University. Finance bros scoffed at the news on their phones. Some idiot just dumped millions into internet coins. Probably a rich kid trying to be cool. Watch him cry in a week. Luo Chen, seated right behind them, smiled faintly. The news ticker scrolled across the cafe's flat screen. Loudspeaker Bitcoin surges past 1,800 yen, institutional buyers incoming. Loudspeaker digital gold becomes hottest asset of Q2. Sign-in reward triggered, insane ROI achieved. Money bag you earned, 42 million yen in crypto holdings. Brain skill unlocked, blockchain mastery LV.1. Understand the structure, behavior, and exploit potential of all blockchain-based assets. Briefcase module upgrade, digital asset vault activated. That night, Luo Chen stared at his screen as Bitcoin hit 2,000 yen. His 5 million yen had become 42 million yen, and it was just the beginning. The next morning, news broke across Chinese financial sites. Collision young tycoon behind crypto surge identified as 23-year-old VC, Luo Chen. Collision from debt to digital empire, mystery investor shocks industry. The same analysts who mocked Bitcoin were now stumbling over each other to hold emergency conferences. Luo Chen was already gone on a flight to Hong Kong, meeting with blockchain developers to build his own digital wallet platform. Meanwhile, Su Ming tossed his wine glass across his penthouse suite. Who is this kid? His assistant trembled. He predicted the biotech boom. Now crypto. And he's opening a digital finance fund under Dongyuan Group. Su Ming's eyes burned. Dig deeper. Find me everything about him and stop him before he becomes untouchable. The world of finance was never kind to outliers. Especially not to ones who win too fast. And Luo Chen? He wasn't just winning. He was rewriting the rules. Monday morning, Dongyuan Venture Capital HQ. Luo Chen sipped tea as he browsed the latest news. Chart increasing with Yen Biotech was turned crypto king, the rise of Luo Chen. Briefcase Dongyuan VC acquires stake in 3 top AI startups. Fire new financial powerhouse emerges in East China. His inbox exploded with emails from media, investors, and sharks. System alert, host has triggered aggro from Tier A competitors. Skull rival detected, Sun Hung, director, Black Wall Capital. Skull rival detected, Xin Yu, CEO, Titan Core Tech. Skull rival detected, Su Ming, Tianhua Capital, past life killer. Warning threat level, moderate to high. Direct hit system quest, survive and dominate, counter all acquisition attempts. Wrapped gift reward, system upgrade, active manipulation tools. Luo Chen smiled. You're all coming for me this early? Good. Saves me the trouble. Later that day, a high-end Cantonese restaurant. Sun Hung, notorious vulture capitalist, leaned back in a private booth. Luo Chen, you're young. Talented. I'll give you 100 million yen for 51% of Dongyuan VC. You can still be the face, of course. Luo Chen stirred his soup. What if I say no? Sun Hung grinned. Then I'll just buy out every partner under you. Luo Chen calmly placed a USB drive on the table. Sun Hung paused. What's this? Proof of your offshore laundering operations in Myanmar, Luo Chen replied casually. The same ones you thought were deleted last year. Sun Hung's face turned pale. Luo Chen's eyes gleamed. I'm not for sale. But if you're still hungry, I can feed you to the SEC. The next day, Titan Core headquarters. Xin Yu received a strange package. Inside, a detailed timeline showing how Titan Core's cloud servers would fail a government audit in exactly 17 days. Unless she pulled out of the AI bidding war against DeepSight Labs, which Luo Chen now partially owned. She stared at it for a long time. Then cancelled her acquisition plan. Meanwhile, Su Ming paced his office, burning with fury. He's dismantling them one by one, using information he shouldn't have. His assistant whispered, Sir, we believe Luo Chen might have help. A system or AI? Su Ming clenched his fists. You little rat. You should be dead. You're playing games with wolves? Then I'll send monsters. Back at Luo Chen's office. The system chimed. Party popper, sign-in reward, strategic dominance achieved. Brain new function unlocked, market manipulation module, basic tier. Firecracker, you may now influence stock trends, news cycles, and digital sentiment within controlled parameters. Direct hit passive skill, Predator's Intuition LV.1, identify hostile financial activity 48 hours before it hits. Luo Chen stared out the window at Shanghai's glowing skyline. The sharks smell blood, he murmured. Good. That means I'm in the water. At 3 a.m., the city of Shanghai slept. But Luo Chen's screen glowed with activity. Charts. Forums. Whispers in the dark corners of financial cyberspace. The system's new interface flickered to life. Bar chart, market manipulation module, basic tier active. Firecracker functions unlocked. Digital sentiment surge, spread targeted buzz across retail investor networks. Algorithmic price nudge, trigger automated buy sell thresholds within minor cap stocks. Media leak protocol, fabricate rumors linked to verifiable events, low risk tier only. Hourglass not done cooldown, 72 hours per operation. Luo Chen's target appeared on screen. Jingtai Semiconductor, a legacy chipmaker on the verge of collapse. Book value, 3 billion yen. Current market cap, 800 million yen. But Luo Chen knew they were sitting on a pending government green tech contract worth 10 times that. He just needed everyone else to miss it. Time to cause a panic, then buy them whole. Day 1, the first leak. A ghost article appeared in underground WeChat investor groups. Internal reports, Jingtai CEO under investigation for accounting fraud? Forums exploded. Reddit equivalents in China lit up with fake audits, half-true whistleblower logs, and AI-forged emails. Jingtai's stock plummeted 17% in 2 hours. Day 2, short sellers swarm. Major funds began shorting Jingtai. Media picked up the trail. Collision Jingtai, another chip giant doomed? Collision dump before it's delisted. That night, Luo Chen sat back and activated the next function. Chart increasing, algorithmic price nudge, activated. Firecracker injecting volatility into automated trading channels. Jingtai crashed 34% more before hitting limit down. And then, he moved. Day 3, acquisition day. While the market panicked, Luo Chen's proxy companies began quietly accumulating shares. By 4 p.m., he owned 41% of Jingtai Semiconductor. The system beeped. Direct hit, strategic control acquired, Jingtai Semiconductor. Moneybag, you now control production for Tier 2 chip supply chains. Brain bonus skill unlocked, economic leverage LV.1, gain influence over supplier-linked companies. Party popper, sign-in reward, system core upgrade incoming, awaiting calibration. The next day, Luo Chen released a different leak. Jingtai secures 12 billion yen government contract for next-gen eco-processors. The market exploded. The same vultures who shorted him rushed to buy in at triple the price. Luo Chen sold just enough to double his war chest, while keeping the throne. Elsewhere, Su Ming slammed his fist against the glass. Who gave him that manipulation ability? That's not natural. It's like he's controlling the board. His assistant stuttered, he didn't just crash Jingtai, he made the market dance. Su Ming's eyes narrowed. Then we stopped playing by the rules. Meanwhile, Luo Chen was calm. The system pulsed softly. Gear, system notice, core threshold reached. Unlocked next evolution, Ghost Investor Protocol, ETA, 1 chapter. Luo Chen whispered, perfect timing. Now, let's show them why you don't corner a lion. The headlines were no longer local. They weren't whispers in underground chat groups or stock forums anymore. They were screening from the front pages of every financial publication in Asia. Young Tycoon manipulates market, doubles empire overnight. Jingtai crash and buyout sparks insider investigations, but who is Luo Chen? Mysterious investor nicknamed the Ghost for untraceable moves. Tokyo, Bloomberg Asia HQ. A senior analyst rubbed his eyes. This kid's fingerprints show up just after major market shifts. He's too fast, too clean. It's like he doesn't exist until after he wins. Another replied, he doesn't manipulate the market, he orchestrates it. Like a conductor. Hong Kong, Elite Investor Symposium. Venture capitalists, hedge fund bosses, and shadow financiers gathered for a private panel on the Luo phenomenon. He's bankrupting short sellers without touching legal lines, one murmured. Another leaned in. There's talk he predicted the crypto spike, the biotech bounce, and the AI bubble all in under 3 months. No one is that accurate. Unless they know the future. Back in Shanghai, Luo Chen's private office. The system chimed, glowing with energy. Direct hit, system upgrade complete. Brain unlocked, Ghost Investor Protocol, LV.1. Globe with Meridians. Your trades and holdings can now pass undetected through 3 layers of shell core, proxies, and crypto nodes. You become invisible until you choose to strike. Rolled up newspaper passive effect, market phantom aura, public and corporate perception delays tracking you by 72 to 96 hours. Your enemies react late. Always. Luo Chen opened his laptop. Across the screen were images of his rivals, each one with a timer ticking down next to their name. Su Ming, 18 hours. Qin Yu, 36 hours. Sun Hong, 0. That same night, Sun Heng's luxury penthouse was raided by the tax bureau. His illegal assets, exposed through anonymous leaks, matched exactly what Luo had pulled from him earlier. The market shuddered. Su Ming, watching from a private club, whispered to himself. The kid doesn't leave evidence. He doesn't give warnings. He just appears, takes what he wants, and vanishes. A ghost. Online, Luo Chen's fanbase exploded. Young investors, crypto geeks, and finance students began calling him the Ghost Investor, the Oracle of the East, the Silent Billionaire. Meme pages flooded with slogans. Don't bet against the ghost. He doesn't short stocks, he shortens careers. When Luo Chen invests, the world adjusts. Sign-in bonus, influence milestone reached. Bank new feature, shadow fund creation unlocked. Create anonymous funds that act autonomously with preloaded logic. Delegate expansion without revealing identity. Luo Chen stood by his office window, watching the city lights below. He wasn't just rich now. He was untouchable. And yet, the system pulsed again with a new alert. Warning: high priority encounter triggered, past life foe approaching. Direct hit target, Su Ming, full confrontation imminent. Luo Chen smiled coldly. I've made my move. Now let him make his. The day began like any other in the boardroom of Yingtai Holdings, one of the largest private investment firms in East China. Su Ming, chairman, kingmaker, and murderer in Luo Chen's past life, adjusted his silver cufflinks and smirked at the quarterly reports. Profits up. Stocks stable. No one can shake us. Until the doors opened. And Luo Chen walked in. Boardroom, 9 a.m. The board of directors looked up in confusion. Who is this? A young man in a crisp black suit stepped forward, calm and unbothered. He placed a thick document folder on the table. Effective today, Luo Chen said, I now own 51.2% of Yingtai Holdings. Silence. Then panic. Su Ming rose to his feet. Impossible. This is fake. Luo Chen turned on the wall screen. Names and subsidiaries lit up. Anonymous shell companies. Shadow funds. Ghost investors. All of them, secretly him. I bought you piece by piece, Su Ming, Luo said. While you tried to bury me again, I built the coffin. System alert, final revenge route completed. Dagger enemy defeated, Su Ming. Classical building company acquisition complete, Yingtai Holdings, Tier 1 asset. Brain reward, Tycoon skill tree unlocked. Executive authority LV.1. Negotiation pressure LV.2. Hostile takeover protocol, passive. Moneybag total net worth, 3.4 billion yen. Su Ming lunged, red-faced. You think you've won? This company is mine. Security walked in. They didn't look at Su Ming. Only at Luo Chen. Chairman Luo, one said, bowing slightly, shall we remove him? Luo Chen didn't even blink. Send him to the same cell I died in last time, he said coolly. Let's see how poetic fate can be. Later that day, press conference. Flashes exploded as Luo Chen stepped on stage, now chairman of the very empire that crushed him in his past life. A reporter shouted, Chairman Luo. You came from nowhere, what's your secret? Luo Chen smiled faintly. In my last life, I begged for crumbs. In this life, I print my own currency. System update complete. Crown new title acquired, Financial Emperor, LV.1. You now influence national policy, media narratives, and foreign investor decisions. Your name alters global markets. Unlocked. Next arc unlocked, Global Conquest Mode. Do you wish to expand into the West? Activate International Module? Luo Chen stood on top of the world, richer, stronger, smarter than anyone had dared to imagine. But the system whispered. This was only the beginning.